Have you ever thought about speaking on the red dot? We're talking about the TEDx stage, of course. And this month for our Speaker Spotlight series, I have the honor of welcoming that's right, 4 amazing speakers who are all delivering TED Talks this month. And they are all members of NSA Carolinas. So here's a couple of themes that will be useful for you as you listen and watch. Alignment, proximity, community, and intentionality. And what you're going to learn from these 4 speakers is the power of these 4 elements into creating a powerful speech and also creating a movement. So tap in as I talk to Tara Brown, Michelle McCown-Campbell, Cheryl Gould, and Dr. Susie Castellanos Hansley. Tap in to start the show. All right, welcome to this month's Speaker Spotlight series. I am your host, Alex Dumas, and I have a treat for you all. Not only do I have 1 speaker, not only do I have 2 speakers, 3 speakers, 4 speakers, but we are here to talk about TEDx events, and we have 4 TEDx speakers coming up to the mic. So I'm going to just do this in the order that's on my screen. I'm going to turn to Cheryl first. Would you please introduce yourself and tell us your talk title for your TEDx?
Hello, thank you, Alex. Hello, everyone. I am Cheryl Gould, and my TEDx talk is Whole Worthy Wise, the new standard of leadership. And I'm excited to be a part of TEDxMorganStreet, which will take place on March 21st.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Next, my friend, someone who is just funny beyond funny, Tara Brown. Tell us about who you are and your TEDx that's coming up.
That would have been funny if you kicked it to Michelle, and then my ego.
Subversion.
Would be like, is Michelle funnier than me? Oh my gosh! Well, thank you so much, Alex, for doing this and for having me. I am Tara Brown. I am excited to be a part of TEDxURI, which is the University of Rhode Island. And our theme is Now That's Funny. And my title is The Laughter Assignment, What Purple Lipstick Taught Me About Owning My Voice. So I'm so excited.
Yes.
Oh, that's an intriguing title. We're
Yes,
going to
I
dive
can't
into that in a minute.
one.
So now for somebody who's like, I don't know, an awesome activator, somebody who just radiates awesomeness, Michelle, tell us about your talk and when you're going to be speaking.
Yeah, my name's Michelle McCown-Campbell. I am so glad you didn't come to me when you talked about funny, because I was sitting here like, please, no. Is that me? I can't tell you my talk title. I can tell you the theme. I'm at Sugar Creek Women, and the theme is perspective. But because of the process, we're at the stage where we cannot confirm what the titles are. So we can talk about that later. But I am going to be celebrating, and everybody in the room is going to be celebrating their awesomeness. That's what I can share.
Fabulous. Hush, hush. And for TEDx Sugar Creek Women, that is happening on March 28th. So we've got a whole slew of talks. And last but not least, Dr. Susie, drop some dimes on us.
Yes. I am privileged enough to have been selected for TEDx Sugar Creek Women. So Michelle and I will be on the stage together. And like Michelle, I can't give you the title because it may change, we might find a better title as we get closer. What I will share is that I'm going to change everybody's perspective on stress. And I'm going to reveal some interesting biological secrets, the simple things that actually help us reduce stress and feel more connected and accomplish more. But I can't tell you what it is. You're going to have to come to the talk.
That's I love it. Love the breadcrumbs. And I love this because we've had, like I said, we have a jam-packed month, Women's History Month. If you don't already know that, for March 1st, March 21st, March 28th. We have powerful speakers, and you all have something in common besides being TEDx speakers next month. You are also part of this, this elite chapter of National Speakers Association. I think they're the Carolinas chapter. I could be wrong, right? We got the pom-poms, we got the glasses everywhere. So before we get into the TEDx's, tell us, and I'm going to start with you, Michelle. Tell us about why you joined NSA Carolinas and what it's done for your speaking business at this point.
Oh my goodness, it's been everything about my speaking and business. My speaking and business wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the fact that somebody that was associated with NSA Carolinas a long time ago said to me, "Have you ever considered speaking?" And I remember having that conversation over lunch and thinking, I'm sorry, is there an industry where you can do this? I thought you just did this for fun. Having come from England to America, like that wasn't an industry that I was aware of. I worked in the corporate world. And so I was introduced to NSA Carolinas that way. I got my first paid speaking engagement through a NSA member because of Speaker Academy. I am part of a phenomenal mastermind with the awesome Tara and Mary Elizabeth and Larry Long Jr. Because of Speaker Academy, because we went on that journey together. So for me, speaking and business I couldn't be here right now saying I'm doing a TEDx. I mean, come on. If I hadn't have joined this community, wouldn't have happened.
Smashing. And I thought that accent was from like Johnson County, so glad that you cleared up that was from England. I was like, hey, she's got like some Clayton in there. That's some Garner. Anyway.
I've tried the y'all, but it doesn't work.
Susie, I'm gonna turn over to you. Tell me about like how you got introduced to NSA Carolinas and what has been the biggest blessing in your business being a member.
Larry Long Jr. introduced me to NSA Carolinas. As you can imagine, I think he introduced so many of us to it because he sees so much in all of us, and he's such an encourager for those who don't know. He is our immediate past president. And when he told me about it, I was a coach, I wasn't a speaker. And I started coming to some of the free meetups, the second Saturdays it used to be at Panera. And I just really fell in love with the people and I saw value. And at some point I realized, oh, I do really want to do this. So I jumped right in and I have gotten so much out of it. I think for all of us who are solopreneurs or entrepreneurs, especially speakers, it can be a lonely career. And that's what the power of being in an association. That's what it gives you. Whatever your industry is, when you join an association, you find a community of peers who are there to support you. And I can't say so many great things about NSA Carolinas and NSA National.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Tara, tell us your NSA story. How'd you get here?
Yes, how I got here is very interesting. So for those who don't know me, I am a stand-up comedian. And a few years back, I was the winner of the late Jeannie Robertson Comedy with Class humor competition. And if anyone knew Jeannie, she was an NSA giant. And so I was kind of standing on her shoulders. So not long after she had passed away, they did a tribute for her and her husband at Elon University. She and her husband were big supporters of Elon. And they did a tribute to them and had asked me to come perform. And so after I performed, the OG, as I like to call him, Mike Frank, came up to me and said, and for those who don't know the legend that is Mike Frank used to be president of NSA National, NSA Carolinas. He's just a phenomenal human being. So he comes up to me afterwards and said, has Jeannie ever spoken to you about NSA, about joining NSA? And I said, she hasn't. So that started that road for me of joining NSA. And so when I joined NSA National and NSA Carolinas, and it has been phenomenal. My first year of joining NSA, I went to Influence, which was an amazing experience. And from going there and being a part of that, specifically comedy night, I made so many relationships that opened up doors for me to speak and perform at lots of places. So I also had the pleasure of serving on our NSA Carolinas board last year. And so I enjoyed that experience immensely. As Michelle said, going through Speaker Academy was just such a thrill. I love this chapter so much. I love the relationships. I love how we're very supportive of one another, and we try to lift, we lift as we climb, as they say. And so I'm just elated with our chapter and just happy to support it in as many ways as I can.
Fabulous. Thank you for that. And last but not least, Cheryl, walk us through your NSA Carolina journey.
Awesome. So I'm a solopreneur. I started my consulting business last year, and I was looking for a community because I thought, where do I start? Where do I kind of find my tribe? And I did a lot of research because I am a researcher. So right here from the keyboard, I just started searching like where are people like finding community. And so everywhere I looked, I kept seeing NSA, NSA, and I was like, okay, I need to learn more. Let me find the local chapter. And I discovered that there was a connection to Larry Long. So I knew Larry Long because who doesn't know him, right? But he had spoken a couple of times at Raleigh Metro Sherm, which I'm on the board there. And so I was like, oh, I remember him because who doesn't remember him if you've ever seen him do his thing? And so just through all of that, I said, I think I want to look closer. I went to a Saturday meetup, and then the rest was history. I enrolled and signed up and got my membership going. And so very supportive, lots of just great information, just being a community with people hearing their rise, yourself, Alex, Dr. Susie, getting an opportunity to meet the two of you in the chapter. It's been really fulfilling for me. So I'm excited that I made the choice to join. And so here I am as part of a TEDx. Like, who would have thought? I couldn't have written this any better. So I'm excited
Absolutely.
and glad to be a part.
Yeah, wonderful share. And even though this is for the ladies, Larry, you are a star in our book, so we love you and we appreciate you. He's the reason why I'm also in the chapter as well. He introduced me several years ago. Now, here comes the question of the day. Why in the would you want to do a TEDx? Like, what's wrong with you people? Like, a TEDx? Who do you think you are to do a TEDx? Then I'll open this up to Tara first.
Okay, well, I was sitting home minding my business, probably watching the Real Housewives of something, and I get a message on LinkedIn from speaker friend Robert Kelly, who said, "This has your name written all over it." And he is an alum of the University of Rhode Island, and he sent me their call for submission, and their theme was "Now That's Funny." So I was like, he's not wrong. And so I kind of went through the process of applying for it and understanding that oftentimes it takes a few tries when you apply for a TEDx before they accept you. And the fact that I applied and got accepted on the first try is just phenomenal. And I'll tell you a funny story about it. So the dates where I had to send the submission and then I had to do the interview, I got kind of selected to like these like I forget what they call it, but it's like a final of a list of 20 people they were considering. So I was on that list, and the date that they were going to have the meeting to determine how to whittle that list down, I was going to be on a cruise ship. For those who don't know, I perform comedy on cruise ships. I was going to be in Hawaii, so I needed to make sure I understood the time difference between Hawaii and Rhode Island. So you'll go to my Google search and see 15 searches of what time is it right now in Rhode Island? What time is it right now? Because I did not want to mess this opportunity up. I get on the ship, the Wi-Fi, I'm like, I bought the Wi-Fi, we're ready to go. I'm sitting at the table, ready to have the interview. The Wi-Fi goes out, so I have to run off the ship. Thankfully, we were in port. So I ran off the ship in Hawaii, making sure I had the right time, did the interview to whittle the list down, and it went all of like, it was like I'm not even kidding, it must have went for like 1 minute. And I was like, that's good, right? It's good, right? And I called my mother, that's a good sign, that's a good sign. And so then the next day I found out that I got it. So it's phenomenal.
Wow,
Awesome.
phenomenal. Well, excellent and congrats. And how about that for alignment? Right now, that's funny. You're already in the funny business, making funny money. Let's go. Let's get it.
It does not sound good.
What about you, Susie? What was like your journey, or why did you even say yes to applying in the first place?
I've always wanted to give a TEDx because for a long time I've had this idea that I know is worth sharing. I mean, I have a huge vision for what I think can shift our society for the better, and it has to do with understanding emotions and the biology of them because we shame them all the time. And we are taught to see them as a weakness that we have to suppress. And come to find out, it's that very suppression that's causing us so much damage because 200 million years of evolution as mammals, it's like we're supposed to be vulnerable with our safe packs. And instead, we're not. We hide, we accumulate cortisol, we burn out, we have all these metabolic disorders. And so I've always had that vision that my goal before I die is that I get to the 17% tipping point that Malcolm Gladwell talks about, where this idea will live in 17% of the population, because once it's there, it starts to create more synergy. And I really believe in the power of this vision for myself. It's about I'm not playing a finite game. I'm playing an infinite game, to quote Simon Sinek, that I have a huge why. And, to quote Dr. Martin Luther King, I'm probably not going to live to see the mountain where this changes, but I'm doing my darndest to get there and to move it there. And that is what the TEDx has meant to me, that I'm not doing it as a checkbox or just to look good, or it's like I really believe in the power of the message I'm giving, and I'm excited to finally share that beyond the smaller populations that I get to share it with.
That's awesome. And I don't know about y'all. Did anybody else feel like the power, the excitement, the enthusiasm?
Yes.
And I know that's what you're going to be bringing to the stage on the 28th for Sugar Creek Women. So, all right, so Michelle, Cheryl, y'all have to fight to the death. Who wants it first? Who wants to share their... Oh, look at y'all, so polite.
Well, I'm unmuted, so I'll go, Michelle. How about that? And then I'll hype you up after you. Okay, good, good. So let's see where the audacity. I think that really connects to me because it did feel like an audacious goal. Last year when I started my business, I'm a planner, and so I sat down with myself and had a strategic discussion around, okay, what are you really trying to accomplish through your business and other things? And I had two goals for 2025. One was to actually start my business. Because I was afraid to, and so I wanted to lean into the fear. And then two, I wanted to do something that was bold and audacious and something that I wouldn't expect for myself, because I love being a support member. So I don't necessarily need to be out front. I'm very comfortable and I love being a supporting cast member. And so doing a TEDx was a bold goal that I wrote down. And so I don't know honestly if I really believed that I wanted to pursue it. I'll be honest with that. But I did apply to, I think, total 4 and was not selected. And I thought, okay, this is a journey, right? Not going to be discouraged at all. But when you talk about the timing of things, which I know that timing matters. I joined NSA, and then it's like, my thoughts really and my behavior started to align and put me in the right places, if that makes sense. So I started getting into these places where I was hearing TEDx. Oh, I spoke at a TEDx, and I thought, okay, I'm definitely in the right space. I did a lot of learning. In any time that there was an opportunity for me to attend a WebEx or some call around how to apply and how to really get it just right, I made sure that I did my work and I signed up for the classes. And so when TEDx Women Morgan Street opened up their application, the theme was all of her. And a lot like you, Tara, the light bulb went off because I've been in HR for 30 years, and right now my mantle is about wholeness and leadership. No more leaving yourself behind so that you can fit in someone else's box, but bringing all of you, even the things that you think aren't favored by other people, showing up whole. That's the new standard of leadership. And so when I saw all of her, I thought, oh my goodness, I think this is the one. And I was very intentional with the application process. I felt it really from my heart when I submitted it. And I felt really great about the topic. And so when I received the call, let me tell you, it was the best feeling in the world, shaking in my boots, but very excited that I get to stand on the red dot and talk to people about being whole, worthy, and wise in leadership as the new standard, because all of you deserves a shot when you walk into the room. And so that's what I want to encourage people.
Oh, wow. Following that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I love all of this. So this is the second time that I've applied. Last year, and I've applied because it's the scariest thing I could really apply. It really was fearful for me. I can speak, but standing on the red dot is a very different beast. This is a memorized, structured, really thought. I've spent more time on this 9 minutes than I've spent on anything in my life. And so it was terrifying. I applied last year, but I applied in a way that I just wanted to throw my name in the hat because that was fearful. Just applying. There were many of us that were probably the people on this call, like watching us right now, that are thinking about it. There's no chance if you don't put your name in the hat. So last year I put my name in the hat and I went through the process and I was kind of like, I was celebrating just pressing submit. Like I was winning at that point. What happened next was irrelevant. I didn't get through and that was okay. So I thought, okay, I didn't get through. I will go and volunteer. So I went behind the scenes and I volunteered and I sat in on the coaching to see how that worked, and I supported the speakers and that whole journey of being part of that community was phenomenal. So I urge anybody that they're all looking, every single one of these TEDx events are looking for volunteers to support the process. That really showed me the inside workings of it. And so this year, I applied again because I've got to stand in the light. That's my thing. I talk about it. I do not expect other people to do that if I'm not going to do it. And so I was much more intentional about it this year. And to be honest with you, when I got the call to say that I was in, because I kind of applied and I was celebrating. I've applied. I've put my name in the hat. I was expecting to hear I'm going to be volunteering, and that would have been phenomenal because I am all about being behind the scenes. Cheryl, we've got to speak. I've got 25 years plus HR. I know that feeling. And so to be told, oh, you're going to be a speaker, and the next words that came out of Kara's mouth were, no, you cannot do volunteering as well. Like she knew that's what I was going to say. Can I still help behind the scenes? And so the application process, the reason why is to stand fully in the light and stand by what I mean by activate the awesome is to stand fully. I'm not an expert, I'm on this journey to learn. And I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and do something because of the message. Because there are other people, we've all watched TEDx, where we've watched a message and thought, oh my God, that seems so simple. And yet it hadn't like sat yet. And I want to be one of those people that has this message for somebody to say, I can do that. And that's going to make a difference to my life. And so it's an obligation to step into this. But it's also a moment where I think, like, I was the 5-year-old kid who said, Mom, Dad, you've got to come from England and you must be here because I'm doing this big thing. The other thing I wanted to say about this whole process is that it's not till someone says 300 people applied for Sugar Creek Women and you're one of the 15. That's when it hits home. That's when I thought, oh, I need to really do this. So it's there for everybody, but you have to put your name in the hat and get there when the timing's right. I think what we can all agree with is when the timing's right, my goodness, the theme aligns, you align, and it just happened. Boom, boom, boom. Now we've got to do is deliver it. And I know these phenomenal women are going to deliver. Like, there's no doubt on the awesomeness. So it's exciting.
Hey, Alex, can I share a quick fun fact about this?
Sure thing, please.
So fun fact for me, I found out I got TEDx the day after Michelle posted that she got it. And I refused to say anything publicly because I wanted her to have her space to be able to enjoy it. So I purposely didn't say anything on social media between that and the fact I was waiting till we met with our mastermind group. So people who I knew who knew Michelle and Larry and Mary Elizabeth, I'm like, don't tell them. I have to tell them. But I purposely waited because when Michelle posted, I was so excited for her. And I was like, there's no way I'm telling anybody I'm doing this right now.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And me and Susie didn't know.
I wanted you to be your moment in the light. And so I waited a couple days before I shoot. So I love how we all support each other.
Yeah. That's the power of community. And speaking of support, I want to just speak her name into the room, Sybil Stewart, the stage builder. She is the organizer for TEDx Morgan Street. She wasn't able to join us on this live call as due to some illness right now. So Sybil, we're praying for you. Hope you feel better and can't wait to see you next month and just see what an amazing production comes to life. So as we get close to wrapping this up, I want to have y'all reflect on next month, International Women's Month, right? Women's History Month, and you are delivering this talk. Whether, and one of you touched on it, like the little 5-year-old you, right? Or this emergent speaker, this emergent woman who wants to amplify her voice, but she's not sure. She's hesitant. Like, what? Should I do this? Who am I? Right? All these all these wishy-washy things, all these things we're fearful of. What is one message from your talk, or just from your speaking career, that you want to share for that person who's kind of like, I want to do something big. I want to speak on the stage. I want to tell people my story and change the world, but I'm scared. What would you tell that person? I'm gonna start with you, Cheryl, first.
Oh, I would say for someone who's asking why not them, I would say everything that you've experienced is the answer to the question. That's why. Because you didn't go through those things, have those experiences for nothing. It was for you, but it's also for the people that are watching you, the people that are coming behind you, for the other people that need encouragement, that are going through the same thing. That's why it's you. So lean into it. You've survived so much, and let's get it done. You can do it.
Dr. Susie, next.
Such a good question, Alex. I think what I would want people to hear, if they're thinking about it and they're scared, it's like you're exactly in the right place. Fear doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Fear is just trying to protect you from making a fool of yourself, getting judged. And I will tell you that part of this whole TEDx process, not just applying, but writing your talk, it is an entire mastermind in learning to face those unconscious fears we have, that we're broken, or what we have to say doesn't matter, or people are going to judge us. I mean, I can tell you, it's not just me, it's all of us going through that process and getting through that. So you don't have to come in fearlessly. You just want to come in courageously and find the people who can support you, because there's so many of us out here who will support you and believe in you and cheer you on and help you get clarity on your ideas. So you don't have to do this alone. We're all in it together. So that's what I want to offer.
Powerful. Thank you. Tara, please.
Well, I spend a lot of my time as someone who started performing stand-up comedy at 45 years old and who left a corporate job 3 years ago to pursue this work full time. I'm a big fan of encouraging people to just step outside of their comfort zones and just remind them that you're no different than anybody else. And so it's like a lot of times we see people doing things and it seems so big, or that they're, I can't do that because they have this resume and I don't have that. And that is so not true. And so I'm just big on encouraging people to just go for it, because you're going to have more regrets if you don't try than if you did. I mean, and here's the thing, like we said, as we've all said here, there are TEDx's around the country. So let's say if you apply to one and you don't get in, it's helped build your muscle to know to apply for the next one, and you might get in that. And what I love so much about what Cheryl shared about her journey is that when it was the right time for her, that's when she got it. So just understanding that if you don't get in the first time you apply, that is not a failure. That is not anything that you did wrong per se, but it just might not have been your time at that moment. So understanding that, yes, do go for it, and understanding that when it's your time, everything will align and it will all make sense.
Powerful. Thank you. Last but not least, Michelle, drop some
Well,
Cheerios on us.
I've got to say, like, we all have a tapestry of awesome. It's the good, the bad, the downright ugly, and it's the truly awesome. And that is what we're talking about, is being vulnerable enough to share that, who you are. It's also about setting intention. And I say to everybody, if I can, yes, you can. Now, there's no special here. I'm from the middle of nowhere in England. It's flat. It's a small town. So if I can make it here, anybody can. And last year when I was volunteering, me and a friend stood on that red dot. And I'd forgotten about this. We took a photo and we said we're going to do it next year. And off we went on our merry way. And both of us did it are doing it this year. And so set the intention, because when you set the intention, you keep taking the steps. I am proof that just by taking one step at a time and celebrating along the way, everything can be achieved. So that's the only reason I'm here. And I have to pinch myself, but I took I took the steps. And those steps led me to you amazing people in this community. So thank you, Alex.
You're welcome. Thank you. Y'all are all phenomenal as powerful women of color, especially too. This is like extra, like, oh, yes. I can't wait to cheer you on. I'm going to be volunteering at the TEDx Morgan Street event. So that's on March 21st. All of her. Make sure if you are in the Rhode Island area, stop by March 1st, University of Rhode Island. Now That's Funny. And last but not least, TEDx Sugar Creek Women. Their theme is about perspective changing everything. So if you want to hear, if you enjoyed this, you enjoyed these phenomenal speakers, and there's so many more who are on this card that we can't even include right now, tap in. The links will be in the show notes for you to get some tickets, or even if you want to just donate and support the organizations, they will love that too. So as we wrap this up and land this plane, thank you, NSA Carolinas. Anybody who's in the Raleigh-Durham area, or just even in the state or local, if you're looking for community, if you're looking for support to grow as an emergent speaker, or if you're even a seasoned speaker and you're thinking, I need to sharpen my tools, I need to get around the right people, tap into nsacarolinas.org. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, share with a speaker friend, and we'll see you next month. Stay blessed.
Thanks, Alex.